This past year was one of records. We had a record in insurance sales, 725 billion face in force. In investments, we had a record $52 billion assets under management. At 116,000 representatives, we have the largest field force in modern history. We set a single year record for recruits, 262,000. And here's one that Glenn mentioned, which I know is a fan favorite. In the last 12 months, record cash flow to the field, $717 million. There's a tendency that we all have to view records as static numbers, annual events that just come and go, historical in nature. And that got me to wondering, what about what we accomplish each day in a 24-hour period? Is it too record-worthy? So I wanted to figure out how to understand a record for what we do in 24 hours. So I went to the authoritative source, the Guinness World Book of Records. And I typed in, and by the way, I soon learned the limitations of the search function on the Guinness World Book of Records. I typed in accomplishments in a day. My answer, on Jupiter, a day is 9 hours and 55 minutes. Then I typed, well, let me try it this way, record number of life insurance agents. I found out that on July 12, 2014, 895 Elvis impersonators gathered in Cherokee, North Carolina. By the way, I also found out that 10,554 people did a group hug in 2010 in Ottawa, Canada. We could beat that record, I think. The limitation, it turns out, was not on the search function. It was that records are always what can be calculated, what can be measured. But how do you measure something that seems immeasurable? How does one set a record for making a difference? And that began a trek for me, because I wanted to find out the power of 24 hours in Primerica. But I needed some help. So I enlisted 17 field representatives. We called them our operatives. At every level, folks like Willie and Lorena Naranjo, Sam and Elaine Shepard, Arlie and Fern Larson. We had newbies, Diana Machias, and one brand new recruit, Olivia Gernot. We picked a 24-hour period. We began at 6 p.m. on January 31st and went to 6 p.m. on February 1st. And I asked our operatives, just tell me about your day. There are no rules. Just send me some emails. We set up an email account. Tell me about your day, and if you want to take some photos, send in the photos. The photos you'll see in a minute are all photos taken on their cell phones. Arlie Larson described for me every single meal he ate. 24 hours we're going to go through today in 24 minutes that I have up here. And so this is our 24, a day in the life of Primerica. Our day begins in the evening. You know, Primerica always goes in a different direction. When others are leaving their jobs, punching out the clock, doffing their uniforms, turning off their computer at work, what are we doing? We're getting our bursts of energy for the evening. We're just getting started because our business is done on nights and weekends. And this day, January 31st, is a Tuesday and month end. What does that mean? It means op nights in North America. Op nights always begin the same way, with empty chairs. Willie and Lorena set out 300. Their faces hide some anxiety. Will the recruits come? Diana, she's organized. She's making sure her representatives, her recruits, have the details about what they'll see and hear. And if we're lucky, lines form at our check-in desks. Kimberly and William have them stretched all the way down the hall. Our recruits come with their dreams and their past disappointments. They come with a mixture of skepticism and thrill. We're fighting for time in their lives. You know, I'm sometimes asked, who is Primerica's biggest competitor? My answer is Dancing with the Stars. And the reason is because we need to get folks off the couch and doing something. You see, sometimes the excuses are easier to give than the commitments. Jennifer got 2 declines that morning, text messages. I'll read you them. She wrote, "Will you be able to come and bring someone with you to the op night, obviously?" Answer, no. She wrote someone else the exact same text message. "Can you please come and bring someone with you?" I would love to come. However, my daughter is performing tonight with her step team, so I won't be done until after 9. Jennifer, though, is unfazed. Her spirit is undiminished. Here's what she wrote. "Not everyone is as excited to change their stars as I am. I will add this to the 100 no's I am aiming to reach. Game on." How do you? Not everyone does op nights on this Tuesday night. Olivia, she has a hot prospect. He's a hairdresser. She's already spoken to him, and on January 31, she's just going to meet him at Starbucks at 7:30 p.m., and all that needs to be done is to sign the IBA. But first, she decides to stop for a bite to eat on the way to Starbucks, and she tries to recruit the server where she had the bite to eat. Here is what she wrote. "Getting some food before we go recruit a friend. Still working on our favorite server." You see him in the background. A no is a temporary no, right? Chairs fill, it turns out, at our op nights. Diana's organization has paid off. She's happy to see that her recruits showed up. Sam Shepard, he puts his best folks in front of the room. It's looking like a good night this night. Jason finally gets an IBA signed that night by this gentleman, Mark, who looked twice before at our opportunity. But you see, now Mark has 3 kids and a 4th on the way, and he needs extra income. The whole family seems ready to change their lives. IBAs are getting signed like crazy on Tuesday, January 31, at our op nights. Over the course of this 24-hour period, 2,387 IBAs will get signed. 59% of them females, a trend in our business. They're young. 60% of the IBAs signed in the 24-hour period, under 35 years old. Many are students. 12% of those IBAs that night, students. 46% were college educated. And of course, they came from all walks of life. We had enough to put together a variety troupe. We had 7 entertainers in our mix, an actor, a comedian, 2 musicians, a singer, a model, and someone who listed their occupation as maestro, a conductor of an orchestra. Some are looking for extra income, and others, they needed a lifeline. One listed their job as downsized. 9 others for occupation wrote laid off. They may or may not hit it big, but we're going to try and upsize them because we never downsize aspirations at Primerica. And these recruits, they don't know it yet, but they're going to do great. Over the course of their career with us, we've projected these recruits on this one night will do 7,000 life apps, 2 billion in face, will recruit themselves 6,000 people. They'll help clients save $33 million, and we will pay them $2.3 million once they get licensed. In the meantime, Olivia's hairdresser, Frank, is running late. She sits at Starbucks with her partner. This is her partner, pictured here. He has downed way too much coffee and should not be texting. Night also bring client appointments and life sales, especially at month end. Cam and Tasha found a referral note taped to the door. In RBP, Noah Reyes helped a newly licensed couple with their first life sale ever. The family was so grateful, they invited all of them to stay for a pizza dinner. It's never too late to protect loved ones. Jennifer, she set an appointment for midnight that night and writes, "You will feel so relieved when you have that policy in place." During our 24 hours, apps come in every minute of the day, 3,401 in total. The face amount of those apps during the 24-hour period, $548 million. We also issued, those are the apps coming in, we also issued 5,072 policies in our 24-hour period. These are lives that you protected. I asked our actuaries, how many death claims will come from the policies we wrote on this day? And they gave me a number, 204. We don't know who they are, but what we know is what you did on that day, what these operatives did, will make a difference in the lives of 204 people at some point in the future. It's something we all need to be proud of. Olivia's recruit, Frank, he's now in a full-blown crisis at the hair salon. He texts Olivia, "I don't know when I'm getting done. I literally have a nightmare going on right now. Blank just hit the fan. The whole color didn't take right." She writes, "Oh my God, well, we're here. Just let us know when you leave, and maybe we'll get a beer later. Sounds like you need it." He writes, "I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. It's a color correction from Petra. And now, I don't know why the color won't take right in her hair." In the meantime, Arlie has finished his day at 9:30 p.m. and he's hungry. His partner, Fern, always has, as Arlie puts it, some healthy fixins on, and he eats a nice meal that night. As our night progresses, celebrations break out. Whitney and Rob qualified for NSD this night. And they're here. They documented the event. This is what they wrote with this photo. "Team is so pumped, on the phone and in person with the people who closed the last 2 apps to qualify us for NSD." Whitney and Rob's whole team erupts with the news. You see, no one wins at Primerica unless someone else wins. Every achievement is a team effort. On this 24 hours, 7 reps will earn watches, 1 representative will earn a ring, and 4 of our representatives will earn new diamonds. The wins are big and bigger. There's no small ones. Sam recognizes the champion of the week. A representative got her first check ever for a life sale. Another got a $200 fast start bonus. During our 24 hours, the company will pay to the field force $4.5 million in cash compensation. And Olivia, here's what she wrote. Starbucks is closed, with our recruit still tied up at his job. They never said it would be easy, but they said it would be worth it. Olivia. Deep into the night, we finally squeezed all we could from this evening. But the home office doesn't sleep. As our clock passes midnight, a night crew comes on at Primerica. 17 employees who work all night, logging apps and IBAs and data from the day before so we can start fresh in the morning. And morning comes quickly. The first time zone to wake up at Primerica is Newfoundland, and the last is Guam. There's a 13-hour, 30-minute difference between the two. It takes us half a day to wake up. Some alarms go off particularly early. And Arlie is up and going at 6:30 a.m. He doesn't want to miss breakfast. Fern is on it. He writes, Fern prepares breakfast for champions, fresh juiced greens, homemade bone broth, and a cup of coffee to get us fired up for the day. Arlie, I hope that bone broth works for him. He's one of our most successful reps, so I'm assuming it's the key and the secret formula for him. In the morning, 94% of our reps go to their jobs, not to do anything with Primerica, because we're a part-time company. Here are photos of them at their jobs. We have a pet sitter, someone at AutoZone, someone at a bakery, a cashier, a bellhop. Jobs by day and Primerica by night. In the home office, in the meantime, Atlanta is in the Super Bowl. And great pits arranged for Freddie the Falcon to come and greet our employees, the team mascot, as they come in. Little did we know at that moment in time we would be part of the greatest collapse in sports history. I don't care what Kay and Dan said. But this day, everyone in the home office is shrieking with joy. Daytime, it also brings death claims to our home office. During our 24-hour period, we will pay 130 and deliver checks for $11 million to our policyholders, families that need us. And new calls come in. During this 24-hour period, 60 new death claims arrived in the home office. You never know if the app you write today becomes a death claim of tomorrow. On this day, one death claim we paid was on a policy that had been in force for 25 years, and another for only a few months. 23% of the claims were on lives younger than 48. We make a difference in the lives of our clients. We also make a difference in our own lives. The flexibility of Primerica let Willie take his daughter to school each day. He will cherish the moments. Jennifer's kids go to school too, at home. She has 3 children and she homeschools them. Primerica gives her the freedom to do that. Chad, he gets some snuggle time with his new grandbaby. Brian Collins, he used his time during the day to volunteer at a homeless shelter. You see, living the dream isn't always financial. Sometimes it's just giving us the independence to live lives on our own terms. Partnership is important to us. Erica and Noah spend a day working prospects. They have a black book, 72 pages long, 36 names on each page. We also make good during our 24 hours on our commitment to invest a difference. Arlie opened an account for his plumber, appropriately working in his kitchen. We don't care the size of someone's wallet. This day, our largest trade was $2 million and our smallest trade, $25. Over the course of this 24 hours, we opened 550 new accounts and brought in $55 million. All that helping clients, though, has caused Arlie to work up quite an appetite. He spares Fern and buys a salad on the road, but she's still working. He said Fern handles recognition shopping duties and is really good at it. Communications, they're teaming this day. Over 92,000 logins to POL. Our call center handles 24,000 calls. We exchange 100,000 emails, and we block in the home office 1.9 million pieces of spam. Primerica has so much mail that we have our own zip code. One piece of mail that arrives is for Jennifer, her credentials to Disney. As our 24 hours comes to a close, there's no more gas in our tank. And yet, we still have miles to go before we sleep. You'll never find a record of this day in the Guinness World Book of Records. I know, because I did one more search. I searched for Primerica. The answer, 0 records found for Primerica. Nothing could be more wrong. 0 records? How about those who got a chance at financial freedom because of us? Had their grief lessened because of us? Saved for retirement because of us? Got to pursue their dreams because of us? Had their lives enriched because of us? 0 results? I don't think so. The record of this day, it's in the lives we touched. 24 hours, a day in the life of Primerica. Thank you for setting a record that day, a record for making a difference.